Hey everybody, it's Leeroy from Leeroy Gaming, and today I want to take a few minutes to introduce you to Death Must Die. This is it's a roguelike bullet hell RPG. Basically, it's if Vampire Survivor and Diablo had a baby. Now, I've played quite a few Vampire Survivor kind of clones and wannabes, and while a lot of them have been pretty fun, it's been a while since one really hooked me. And as a huge fan of RPGs and a huge fan of games like Diablo, and also somebody who was so pleasantly survived, or not so pleasantly surprised, rather, when I found Vampire Survivor a couple years ago, uh, I thought this was going to be a perfect combination for me. And let me tell you, it sure has been. I just found this game the other day. I've put about 45 hours into it right now, and I am completely addicted to it. So I wanted to share it with you. Let's go ahead and take a look at a little bit of gameplay here, and I'll explain some of the main features and show you what the gameplay is like. And then, of course, if you end up wanting to check this out, I will have a link to it in the description. The Steam page. Again, this game is in early access. It came out into early access about November of 2023. So that they're doing a lot of development here on it, but it is extremely playable and it is already extremely fun. So let's go ahead and take a look what this game has in store. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at some of the main features of this game and what makes it a little different than Vampire Survivor, and also some things that make it similar. Now, I've put about 4 hours into the gameplay. The first thing you'll notice that's different is you do end up having this kind of home base that you will develop and unlock new features as you play. It seems like there's a holiday theme that during this holiday season also was activated, so it was kind of cool. I'll show you in just a second. Unlock like a Christmas tree, and you get some gifts for free, which is kind of nice. But within this home base, you can have other elements that's going to unlock. There's a little area here where you can check your achievements. Now, you will be unlocking different characters in this game. When you start out, you get the knight, which is this character up here, Avaron. The second character that I unlocked was kind of this mage character that I'm using right now, which I'm quite fond of. You're also going to unlock a little store, and we'll talk about that in just a second. There's an inventory stash, which is going to be important as well. Here's some other characters. This is another one of my favorites, the Barbarian Kront. And then you're going to have, very Diablo-like, a little campfire area where the other two characters that you're going to unlock hang out. So you have Scaldi, which is a warrior, and you get an assassin. So again, the first time you play, you're not going to have any of this. The game is going to throw you into the fold. You're not even going to have access to the inventory. We're going to again start a new run in just a second, and I'm going to show you how it runs. But as soon as you start unlocking things, which again will be rather quickly, you get access to the campfire. This is going to be eventually what you're going to have. And again, this is about 4 hours in, not that much. So you tend to unlock these rather quickly by just playing the game. What's first of all unique is each of these characters is going to be able to unlock special subversions of themselves, specialties. And again, they're done by completing certain achievements. And it allows you to not just play these different characters, but also as I mentioned, versions that are going to have specialties. So let's look at this Barbarian. You can have one that's called the Sign of the Tornado, where you gain 40% attack area every 3 levels up to plus 140%. Or maybe you want the Sign of the Meteor. You gain 1.2% attack damage for every 1 armor point you have, but now armor does not increase any damage reduction, so you can be like a glass cannon. Or the mage, which I'm going to be playing here today, you can, for example, be the sign of fire, gain 8% spell damage every 3 levels, max 80%. So this is obviously making it very powerful on the damage buff. Or this one, which I like quite a bit, you have infinite pull range, and we'll discuss that in just a second. But you have -1 dashes, but 30% dash cooldowns. So your dash goes off cooldown quicker, but baseline you only have 1 dash at a time, which can definitely hurt with mobility. So again, you select the character you want to play. Again, at the beginning, they're not going to have any of the subcategories, but we'll start with this one as an example. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to be able to start the game. Now, before we do, I do want to also go over the inventory system. This is where the Diablo element comes in. You're going to be able to, when you're in your little hometown, swap between the inventory of any of your characters that you've unlocked. And when you're playing the game, you're going to be getting loot that you can pick up. And just like Diablo, very different loots, different benefits, and they do seem to be random. You can go and sell them at the shopkeeper here for money, and then new random items are going to pop up, and you're going to be able to buy these. It seems like more and more powerful items will pop up as you play more and more, which is pretty neat. And we'll discuss this a little bit more as we go right into the game. So let's go ahead and jump in, and I'll explain more. Now, movement is normal WASD, space is dash, and you can manually attack by left clicking, or you can hit Q, and now will auto attack and auto target. And I prefer auto targeting here. Now, I, for example, have a pretty powerful staff that I got. This is a candy cane. It is tier 1 only, but I got it from the little Christmas event. But I do want to point out, they're pretty dramatic. They can impact how many projectiles, and they can have special abilities as well. So for this one, your attacks have a chance to apply frozen at 60% chance. And then other aspects from equipment can make it so that you're more likely to get better drop chances. Obviously, natural things like increasing spell damage, skill upgrades, but there'll also be things like reroll dice, and I'll show you what that means in just a second. So again, at the beginning, since I played a little bit, I'm pretty overpowered here.
It's so chilly down here. Let's get this over with quickly.
And then here's the part that a lot of people say it has kind of the Hades influence, and it's only kind of the art style. When you level up, you're going to get to pick skills and abilities, so passives or actives, and they're going to be based on these different gods. And there's different gods. There's like the goddess of fire, there's a goddess of ice, there's going to be like the god of war, there's going to be a necromancer god, and who you get is kind of random. And you can pick from these, but you will also, based off gear again, have the ability to reroll, or there's another stat that makes it so that you can actually get a different god. And then there's another stat where you can basically banish that certain abilities don't pop up. So as you play more, you're going to be able to kind of specialize your build. Or you could totally get equipment that's just going to buff your, abilities, and maybe you don't have very many rerolls. So here you're going to have to pick, you're going to want to pick one. In this case, let's go ahead and do Vengeful Strike. So your attacks become stronger and apply burning. So again, burning is like a dot. And then this gives us projectile piercing more. You can see all the stats here. So let's go ahead and use this for starters. So now you notice before my attack was fire-based or ice-based, now it's fire-based. As you go through the map, you're gonna notice on the mini-map, there's going to be little areas you can, little shrines, little things to interact with. And they can be anything from EXP boosts.
The blessings of summer. When you face death,
Do not let fervor force your hand into revenge. Being impartial is a virtue.
The voice acting is generally pretty good. Now, as you get these different powers as you level up, you have a chance to have them be adept, expert, master, and so forth, which are just more powerful versions of the same abilities. The gear you have can impact which ones are going to drop or are more likely to drop. So again, here's other themes. For example, here we can make it so our ways of healing are going to increase the amount of heal. Dash gives you reduced attack movement penalty for limited duration. Now, let's say if you didn't like this, I happen to have some rerolls. So let's go ahead and just use that as an example. So now all of a sudden, did you notice it wasn't the blue one anymore? So this was technically a worse roll. And again, since we're just using this as an example, let's see if we reroll again. Trying to see if we can get, for example, another rarity. No, we may not. So again, why not? Let's test it out. There we go. We got another blue one. Now I only have one more reroll total. Let's take a look here. Let's add a little life regeneration. So that sounds kind of nice. Now, for better or for worse, right now there's only one map because it's technically still in early access, but it's a cool looking map. Here's the third guy that was unlocked. And again, they all have different themes. My favorite theme of this guy is there's a chain lightning option. So let's see if by chance we can reroll and get it. So we didn't get this time, but again, we can move faster. You can, if you the more you move, you can have lightning bolts come down, again, there's alterations for your dash. Let's go ahead and do this lightning bolt. So now, as you'll notice, as you dash around and move around, we're gonna go ahead and find that lightning's gonna come down. Now you may notice the little green orbs. That's the EXP. The specialty of my mage is that we have infinite EXP orb range. There's that lightning coming down. And normally you don't have that infinite range. You have to be close. Our specialty is again that you can gather, in this subspecialty I chose, that you can gather the EXP orbs from everywhere, which is really, really cool. And now let's go ahead and pick burning enemies leave fire when they die. So, similar but also different than Vampire Survivor. You can start building kind of these unique setups. So now I've got this, cool effect that I'm throwing fireballs as I'm moving. Lightning is dropping, and enemies that die leave fire on the ground that does damage over time. So I'm kind of moving around. I'm trying to find these different shrines. Some of them let you make choices that will give you different buffs, or some of them will give you items, and some of them will just maybe give you plus damage or plus luck. Here's 4.2% luck. Luck lets you better chances, better loot. I'm assuming it also increases your chance to get different abilities. Now here's like one of the little mini bosses, and we're kind of kicking his butt right now. Another upgrade. And now when you do get upgrades, you can either get new effects or you can upgrade your current ones. And for example, I want to get better health regen. There we go. Now we killed an enemy, and notice he's gonna drop chests, and sometimes they'll drop loot as well. That one didn't drop loot for me. I think it's random, but now we can either buff other effects. Let's go ahead. I'm just gonna increase the burning. And there we go. Here's our first piece of loot. It's blue. You can pick it up with E, and you can pause by hitting B and look at the items. Now, there's no guarantee that the loot you're going to get is for your character. So here you'll notice it says Barbarian only. Here's let me see, keep equipped with the Death's within Death's realms. Oh, so some of them you have to equip when you're in between levels because of the reroll impact. It's so you can't cheat and get more rerolls, for example. So again, you'll be getting a variety of these. And that's the big difference there, which I really like. So in between, as you die, and you will die a lot, of course, because at first you're going to be pretty weak. This character, again, is rather strong right now. You're going to get to keep all your loot. And this allows you to get your character stronger and stronger. And then you can experiment with not only different abilities, but also you can experiment with equipment setup as well, which gives you a lot of opportunities. And let's see here. This is my favorite, chain lightning. So check out this effect. So now all of a sudden, ooh, powerful stuff. Let's see, is this a... Okay, that's really not powerful. I thought it was unique or something for a second, but that's just a white one, nothing that special. So now as you can see, here are my effects by hitting tab. It's easy, it'll tell you what your passive buffs and debuffs. Unfortunately I had a -5 luck from that. I got unlucky with that one virtue shrine I touched. And you can see all your passive and active abilities you've unlocked. And I'll say this feels really nice. Just the abilities look really cool. You can start seeing this combination you're building. So I got lightning coming down, chain lightning occurring. That right there is health. Health is actually pretty rare to drop, relatively speaking.
I don't really care for what's going on here. I'm just invested in your story, you know?
And there's a little bit of a story. You're going after, you know, death. I personally have not, quote unquote beat the level yet. It does get tougher and tougher. So now, if you can see, what do I have? I'm throwing fireballs. I'm, wherever I sprint, it leaves fire. Enemies that die cause fire, and I have lightning and chain lightning effect. Now, similar to Vampire Survivor, I have this thing where I have an area that I'm locked into that's getting smaller and smaller, and I have to kind of survive. This is an event that's probably going to kill you when you first hit it. Now, I'm quite powerful here. I have a pretty good setup, so I'm probably going to be able to defeat this, hopefully. Alright, let's upgrade to chain lightning. Now, unlike Vampire Survivor, you can't break out of this. You are permanently stuck in here until you finish it or die. So you can't cheese it like in Vampire Survivor, but I think that's okay. Now again, what's really cool is if you're playing a different character, or if you built your wizard differently, your playstyle is going to be completely different. There we go. I have this cool fire and lightning setup, but yours could be a lot different. Here's another mini boss. Now notice, even though I have the fire effect, I still have that chance to freeze effect from my staff. So that's kind of cool too. Here, we'll go ahead and give some more health regen. And I've played a lot of Vampire Survivor clones, etc. since it came out, and I'll tell you this much: this one really gets your hooks into you really quickly. I think it is the fact that you have that a decent enough for now amount of heroes to unlock, but it's really the chase for that equipment. Even though it's only one map, and of course it can feel frustrating at first if you can't progress that much, but as you get that equipment chasing aspect of the game going, it feels really satisfying. Definitely, if you like loot hunting, if you like having tons of diversity with the builds, because of that, I think you're gonna really enjoy this game. Again, it is on Steam right now. I'll make sure to drop a link in the video below, and of course if you like it, make sure to support the developer by picking it up I believe it's about $7 or so, so not very expensive. A little bit more than Vampire Survivor, but I definitely think it's worth every penny. And here we go. Here's the first boss that I unlocked. And it's not so easy. Again, the one weakness I have right now of this build, not very mobile. So I'll go ahead and show you what happens when you die in a second. There you go. So when you die, you're gonna have this results screen right here. It's similar to Vampire Survivor. You can see what abilities did the most damage. You can kind of evaluate your build, see what was effective, what wasn't. In here, again, Vengeful Strike had the highest DPS for me. So again, analyze your results. And when you die, you will now come back. And again, your first, at least my first 5 to 10 playthroughs, every time I'd be unlocking something different, a new feature, a new character. The characters here will talk to you and have a little bit of little text and a little bit of a story. How much of a story is there? I'm not fully sure yet, because again, I haven't played this that long, about 4 hours in, but it seems like more and more stuff unlocks. You can go over to different characters. Then again, you can go and sell your equipment that you're not going to use, swap out your equipment across the different characters, and kind of rinse and repeat. Now again, as I showed you the gameplay, some of these elements may make a little bit more sense now. So for example, if you were to get this Ruby Learning Epic Jewel, you're gonna, in this one for example, would make it so you heal when you level up, and you have a better chance for adept offers. So those were the blue offers of the abilities. We never got a master ability, for example, in that playthrough, but that can happen as well. Like here's this Santa's kind of hat. Notice 12% more master offers. So if we were playing this other character, we would be getting more of those, for example. So lots and lots of variety. That's what I think makes this game real fun. I think it has the potential to take the Vampire Survivor kind of genre to the next level. Well, what do you think of the game? Let me know your comments below. If you enjoyed this and you found this intro video kind of helpful, make sure to drop a like. As always, thank you for all your support, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.